Okay, this is the next morning, and we are just departing from Chesapeake City. Uh, we're going to be heading down the canal, and probably within 5 minutes after we're on the canal, we'll be out of Maryland and we'll be in Delaware. Uh, we'll be crossing the Delaware Bay, and then that's where we will get back into the intercoastal. Uh, Staying here last night was actually pretty nice. I got a real good sleep. The calm waters all night long. No boats could go by because this was actually all the way at the end of the little cove, so no boats were coming by. So that no wakes were created anywhere. And I actually slept all night and didn't feel the boat even moving. So it's a pretty good night. But anyway, here we're heading back out to the canal, and this is the canal that connects Chesapeake Bay and Delaware Bay together. And once we're on this canal for not even 5 minutes, we'll be out of, like I said, out of Maryland. Once we get into Delaware Bay, we're going to go into down Delaware Bay, and we'll end up in a place called Cape May. There's a little canal there also that you go through from the bay, and then it takes you straight into the intercoastal without you having to go out to the Atlantic to pick up the intercoastal again. So that makes it real easy. And once you pick up the intercoastal, once we get on the intercoastal there, our next stop, it's going to be Atlantic City, New Jersey. I don't know yet, whether we're going to tie up or where we're going to tie up yet over there, but I imagine maybe close to a casino or something, and maybe donate some of our money to them, I guess. We'll see what happens, but anyway, we've just passed the sign that said, welcome to Delaware, so we're no longer in Maryland, now we're in Delaware. At the end of this canal is where the bay actually starts, and shouldn't be too long of a run. We will be done with Delaware Bay in one day. It's basically about a 3-hour run, as long as everything runs okay and we got good weather. It's only going to be about 3 hours. Then we'll get into Cape May, and then just find a little place to either anchor or a dock or something. But we'll figure that out when we get there. This canal here, making the run here on this canal was pretty uneventful, mainly because it was nice and calm waters the whole way. When we start getting to the end, you'll be able to see the bay when it opens up. And here, after this bridge here, you can see up forward where it actually opens up. And once you get to that point, we're at the bay. I didn't record a whole lot about the bay, mainly because it was pretty uneventful. We had good weather the whole time. Seas were minimal, 1 foot or less, so there wasn't really nothing to talk about or brag about doing the Delaware Bay, except that just another bay we had to cross, and we went ahead and did that. Once we get into Atlantic City, then I guess we'll, like I said, we'll figure out what we're gonna do once we get there. But there's a lot of casinos apparently in Atlantic City. I've never been there, so, but I've heard that there's, I think there's a Bally's there, a casino. The marina, where there is a city municipal marina, and it's what I've heard. It's a very large marina, and it's actually run by the Golden Nugget Casino. They are the ones that are kind of in charge of it as far as assigning slips. And if you go over there, just let them know that you want to gamble, and they'll sign you a slip, and you don't have to pay for it. I guess they figure, well, you're going to pay for it one way or the other. I definitely paid for it when I was there, even though I didn't pay for the slip. I did pay for what I needed. But here we are now out on the bay, Delaware Bay, and you can see that kind of looked like a nuclear power plant that we went by. And like I said, it wasn't the whole trip was just like this, nice and calm waters. And you can see that very little movement, very little wakes whatsoever. And the whole time we were crossing Delaware Bay was like this. So I didn't record a whole lot, and I took a lot of it out that I did record, because it was really uneventful. Nothing happened. Everything went nice and smooth the way it should be. And boat and motor both did good crossing. Nothing spectacular to talk about then. So Atlantic City we're on our way there. We went through some areas. Here we are coming into close to Atlantic City, and some of the places that look pretty good. All along the shorelines here, these houses, some of them were even built on the water. They were pylons, and then the houses were actually underneath, out on the water. Some people even had their boats underneath the house, tied up to the pylons down there. I don't know how much the tide goes up and down here, but obviously it's good, and the houses are high enough off the water line that the tides don't affect the fact that their boats were underneath the house. And now we're actually on the Intercoastal. We've finished with the bay, and the Intercoastal was also the same thing. It was pretty smooth, except when you got a boat or two coming by creating a wake. But it wasn't that busy. You can see way in the far there, toward the left side, some buildings there. That's actually Atlantic City there. We went through small little, I guess, suburbs, they call them, of Atlanta, and for the most part it was uneventful. But like I said, we did go ahead and just record everything, just to kind of make sure that we had it, that we were doing okay. I also was figuring out that now that we are in New Jersey, I've actually crossed 8 states now of the total 15 states that I have to cross. So I'm about halfway through the states. Not necessarily though am I heading south yet. The highest point north that I have to go up to is going to be Lake Michigan. At Lake Michigan, there's an island called Mackinac Island and the Mackinac Bridge. Once I get underneath that bridge, that'll be the furthest north that I'm going to have to travel. and then I can start heading down Lake Michigan to Chicago, where I will pick up the Illinois River there. So I'm not done going north. I still got quite a ways. Like I said, I have to get to Lake Michigan, and I have to get to the top of Lake Michigan, because from Lake Erie, it doesn't cross anywhere. So I do have to go all the way up to Lake Michigan, and where that Mackinac Bridge is. And once you go underneath there, then I'd be basically heading south the whole time. So I think that's probably what I would consider my halfway point of the trip. Total miles is going to be 5,500 miles when I get done, if I don't make any changes, or if I screw up and get lost and end up having to backtrack some. I should, by the time I'm done, I'll have a total of 5,500 miles that I've covered. Here we are coming into New Jersey, or Atlantic City, and you can see there's a couple of big towers there. You can see them there toward the left side. That's actually the casinos. One of them is the Sahara Casino, and the other one is the Balachi Casino. And there's a lot of casinos there. There was also, I saw the Hard Rock Cafe Casino there. Where I went to was the Golden Nugget Casino, because that's where the marina was. And like I said, if you're gonna gamble, they normally will let you tie up. I told them I was gonna be there for about 4 or 5 hours, so they said, yeah, just go ahead and tie up and don't worry about it. But I ended up staying all night, actually. I figured, well, since I'm leaving them some of their money, I'm going to make it worth my while. So I did stay a while. I actually stayed overnight. And then the following day, I went into their office and went ahead and told them, I said, listen, there's some bad weather coming in. I'm going to have to probably end up staying here a couple of days. So I did. I stayed there 2 extra days before I decided to take off from Atlantic City. Mainly because of the weather. And like I said, you always have to check your weather before you take off. From Atlantic City here, I was still going to be in the Intercoastal. And once I got into the Intercoastal, or once I got as far as I could go on the Intercoastal, which is a town called Manasquan, I think, something like that. At that point there's an inlet, and you have to go out into the Atlantic Ocean to get into a place called Sandy Hook, which is right in New York, or New Jersey. It's still New Jersey, but it's called Sandy Hook, and that's where you do the Hudson River, or opens up, and that's where you start, the river starts, and you have to come in through there. And then you come into New York, and then of course you go through the Statue of Liberty and all of that. But that's still another day and another film. Right now we're still trying to come into the casinos here. Those 2 tall buildings there are also casinos. Like I said, there's a bunch of them. There's a lot of casinos here. They have a shuttle also that'll take you through all these different casinos. You don't have to necessarily stay at the Golden Nugget. Although I really didn't go anywhere else, I figured, hey, I could leave my money at any one of them. Why not just leave it all to one casino? But maybe that's why they don't have a problem with you staying for free on the docks there. Because they probably figure, okay, we're gonna make our money as long as you're in the casino and you're playing, they're gonna make their money from. And it was nice. I mean, just to relax, get off the boat. I didn't win any money really. I just basically made a donation to their casino there. But I had fun, you get to sit around and you get to relax, and you kind of, you know, think, you know, wow. There were some high rollers in that casino, also. Um, I saw a lady that was using $100 chips, and she had a ton of them, a stack of them, and she was betting 5 of the chips at a time at a roulette table. So that was $500 she was betting every time on the roulette table. And I thought, wow, I guess she must know somebody with money, I guess. Or maybe she had the money. But anyway, they also had a section, you know, for the high rollers, the high stake tables, the blackjack tables, your poker tables, your roulette tables, and all of that. And they have just one separate section where they have their own private, you know, waitresses that cater to whatever you need. I don't know if you've ever been to a casino or not, but when you go to a casino and you drink, the drinks are free. They don't charge you. You can order a beer, you can order a bourbon and coke, you can order a scotch and water, whatever you want. It's free. They don't charge you for it. What it is obviously they want you to drink while you're in there, because once you start getting lightheaded, they figure you don't realize what you're doing, and not only that, you actually end up staying longer than what you want, what you plan to stay, and all of that. So they understand that, you know, that they're giving away the drinks and stuff, but they also realize that they make more money that way by doing it. And if you go up to the bar and you ask for a drink, they'll charge you for it. But if you're sitting at a table somewhere, or you're sitting on a slot machine somewhere, and there's waitresses that go walk around, you know, asking you, you know, do you want a drink? Do you want a drink? And what you do is you tip them, okay? Which normally everybody tips them $1. So if you order a beer, she'll go get it from you from the bar. They don't charge you for the beer. She'll bring you the beer, and you give them a tip, $1. So it's still cheap, you know, when you consider you're drinking a beer. And one morning while I was there, I went in to have breakfast in the morning. And after I had breakfast, I thought, you know what, I'm going to play a couple hands. So I went in and I sat down, and I didn't sit at the table. They had a slot machine that played blackjack, which is what I enjoy doing, playing blackjack. So I went in there and played some blackjack on one of the video tables. And a lady came up and asked me if I wanted coffee, and I said, hey, that sounds great. And she actually brought me 2 cups of coffee. And I thought, oh, thank you. I mentioned to her, I said, that's pretty good, you know. Don't have to take out, you know, pay $2 for 2 cups of coffee. But anyway, see that boat right there is a boat also that's doing the Great Loop, and we're actually, you know, running together. We're going to be running either from here together, or if not, from Manasquat, when we go out onto the Atlantic, so that we won't be out on we won't leave each other, or not one of it, or we leave without each other. It's kind of just to help, you know, in case something happens, or something, you have problems or something, you have to pull over. But this is the casino here, the Golden Nugget. They don't let you videotape the inside of the casinos. Nobody does. They don't let you go into them. So all I could do was just video record the outside. But it's a very nice casino. Everything was real nice, and the marina was huge, like I said. Unbelievably huge. Most marinas will have 4 or 5 docks. Well, this marina had docks starting from A, working all the way through J. And these docks were not short docks. You can see here's 2 of the docks right here, and you can see how long they are. Okay, so they start off with dock A, B, C, and work all the way till J. So you can imagine, and most of these docks were full of boats already. So you can imagine how huge this marina is. Uh, that big tower there with that ball on the top of it, that's also another casino. Uh, this was during the day, so they really hadn't started, but they actually in the evening they brought in a band and they started playing out here at the patio. They call them the patio club or something like that. Uh, and it got pretty crowded real quick. I guess people just want to take a break and from playing in the casino. They want to take a break. They go outside and listen to the band or something. Here's the docks I was telling you. As you can see, this is dock A, and that goes. You can see how far these things go out. And then here's dock B, and these are so long. I would imagine each dock probably holds somewhere in a reference of about 50 boats. And then you go all the way down from A, B, C, D, E, and F, and all of that. About halfway down is where the clubhouse is, and it's where the patio bar is. And then after that, it starts again, with the rest of it. And like I said, it runs all the way from A to J as far as how many docks they have. So you can imagine how big that is. And again, if you're there to gamble, they want you to stay, obviously, so they don't charge you to tie up to the docks. I think the fee was like $3.70 per foot if you wanted to, stay overnight or whatever. So it wasn't the best priced, but it was a very nice docks. They're very nice. Everything is pretty much up to par at the casinos. They don't do nothing halfway. Everything, they do it all the way or don't do it at all. Here's the evening coming by, and you can see how all those towers back there are all casinos that were lit up, and there was probably 6 or 7 casinos back there in the background, and then here, close to the Golden Nugget, was the Bellagio. You also had the Sahara and the Members Club also. Here's where the band was starting to play, and you can see it got crowded pretty quick. It didn't take long, and the band was also pretty good. So, but as you can see here, it was a very nice place to come visit. I actually stayed longer than I should have stayed, but because of the bad weather, not because I gambled. But I didn't leave them a whole lot of money either. I wasn't about to, leave my whole account here and then not be able to finish my trip. So it's just a matter of saying, okay, this is it. That's what I'm going to give you, and I'm done with it. But anyway, this is the end of the Atlantic City trip. Thank you, and we'll move on to the next one.